In today's video, we're going to be going over some ultra blind buy safe men's designer fragrances that you can purchase essentially without the fear of not liking them. As I mentioned, we're only talking designers here and we're just keeping it relatively simple. We're sticking to the basics aside from No Sauvage and Dylan Blue and that type of stuff. We have some options in here that you might not expect, but that fit the bill really well. I'm going to be referencing prices through this video most likely, and I always reference prices at discounted rates. So I will link everything that I'm talking about down below to discounters. That way you could save some money when making a purchase. We're going to get things kicked off with a Valentino. This one is Uomo Born in Roma Green Stravaganza. This one has vetiver, coffee, and bergamot. That's all they list off, and that's kind of hitting on the key points anyway, so good enough. It's an interesting mixture because you get some citrus with some woods and then kind of a seemingly random coffee accord. And I don't know about you, but when I first saw this note breakdown and I hadn't smelled the scent yet, I was questioning whether or not we would actually pick up on a coffee note, because that's sometimes a classic move where they'll list off a note that is kind of intriguing, like a coffee or maybe sometimes even, oud or a boozy accord or something. And then you get the scent and you don't smell any of that at all. Luckily, that's not the case with this one. I do pick up on the coffee, a nice roasted coffee accord mixing with that citrus off the opening and a nice vetiver scent, a nice vetiver note later on in the fragrance. It smells absolutely amazing. I love coffee and fragrances. You guys know this. I love coffee in general, and you pick up on it a lot. And alongside that, it's still kind of that original Born in Roma DNA. So this is not a complete stranger. It still ties back into that original smell somewhat, but the coffee takes it in a completely different direction. And also, as you could probably tell by the name and even the bottle, green, this does have a bit of a green feel to it. So it's not a straight up sweet gourmand scent just because there's coffee. It kind of takes more of a neutral approach, making it ultra versatile, very wearable, and good for pretty much all year around, which, by the way, I do love the bottle as well. It doesn't get a ton of recognition, but really cool looking. Kind of a bit of a gradient, darker up top, more green down at the bottom, green lettering on the front. Cool stuff, amazing scent. Blind buy safe, it's just a mild coffee and a green base scent with some citrus and some woods. It doesn't get much better than this. Coming up next from Michael Kors, we have Michael Kors Pour Homme. Pretty cool looking bottle on this one, I have to admit. Kind of has that heavy duty chain link look to it. I would imagine would be emulating some sort of chain link bracelet or something. Not 100% sure. Some sort of jewelry item, I guess. But I really like it. Looks cool. Now this one has dropped down in price a lot. Of course, when it first came out, it's retail only, and then it hits discounters and it's not too far off of retail. I think now you're looking at, I don't know, somewhere around $40 or so, which is really reasonable for this. The retail price for this is kind of a no-go for me. I wouldn't recommend buying this at retail, but at the price it's going for now on discounters, it's worth a purchase for sure. So this one has C notes, bergamot, geranium, lavender, and ambergris. Kind of a loaded note breakdown, and that's not even all of them, I don't believe either, but those are some of the ones that I pick out the most. It's really, really simple. I'm not going to try to make this one sound more exciting than it is. They definitely did not reinvent the wheel with this one by any means. It's an aromatic smelling, citrusy, modern smelling scent. You look online and you see it gets compared to a couple of things. The first one there is Invictus by Paco Rabanne. And I'll say this, does it have a little bit of that Invictus smell? Yes. But what I would say is that if you want to compare it to Invictus, think of this as basically the most aromatic smelling Invictus fragrance you've ever tried, essentially, because it doesn't have nowhere near the level of bubblegummy sweetness that Invictus has. Instead, they have focused heavily on the aromatic notes, along with, some of that citrus as well. That's kind of where this one sits. So very fresh, very clean. This is one of those scents that kind of has that cooling effect to them, where when you smell it, you spray it on, it's cooling, it's refreshing, it's clean. It's like you've just stepped out of the shower. You feel refreshed, you feel revived. It's as easy as that, really. There's not a whole lot else going on to really talk about with this one. It's so simple. It's not something that everybody's going to love in terms of smelling unique, okay? Because it doesn't. In terms of people loving it or liking it because it smells good, you're going to find that that's a very common thing. So if you want to play it safe, guys, you don't want to have anything too crazy. You just want something that you can make a purchase and pretty much know that you're going to like how it smells. That's Michael Kors Pour Homme. This next one, I'm willing to bet a lot of you guys hadn't heard about it until recently, okay? This is a 2010 release that has been hard to get for years now, and I love the smell of it. I bought my bottle several years ago off of eBay because that was the only option at that time, and I wanted to get one. It's John Varvatos Artisan Black. So what a cool thing that we can get this now. It's available on a few different discounters. I'll have it linked down below. It's going to be a 125 milliliter bottle like this, tester no cap, like this, for 39 bucks, 38 bucks, somewhere around in there is the typical rate for this one. Really, really cool. Again, I paid way more than that off of eBay years ago because that option wasn't available to me and I wanted to complete the collection, and so that's what I ended up with. If you haven't tried this one yet, I highly recommend it. It's a fantastic smelling citrus scent. You might not think so because it's called Artisan Black and it's got an all black bottle, kind of resembling things like Dark Rebel Rider and stuff, you know, other sweeter, heavier scents from the Artisan brand, but it couldn't be further from those. This one has blood orange, tangerine, watermelon, ginger, and neroli. What an amazing smelling fragrance, guys. I'm telling you, it smells wonderful. I'm gonna waste some more sprays on this one. Love it, absolutely love it. Bright, refreshing citrus, and that true OG John Varvatos Artisan smell, just that old style John Varvatos type of scent that they were putting out back in the day that they don't really do anymore. That's what this one's all about. It's so wearable. The melon mixed with the citrus smells great. There's a ton of other notes as well. Like they have leather and stuff listed in here, which I don't really get any of that, but they do have a big note breakdown. You can tell that this is when they really put some effort into stuff like that in terms of marketing the notes and stuff. But man, great, great scent that I recommend you pick up. It's a cool collector's piece to have, and it's also a collector's piece that you can actually get a lot of use out of, that you're not paying an arm and a leg for, that you feel okay utilizing because, you know, it's really in a really good price range here. Love it. Definitely recommend it. Super, super safe blind buy. If you like citrus, you'll like this. Next up, we have YSL L'Homme. This is the Le Parfum version. I love it. Why? Because it takes that original L'Homme smell and mixes it with a little bit of Eau de Parfum. It has amberwood, geranium, and ozonic notes, so that kind of, again, speaks for itself. Amberwood coming over from the Eau de Parfum. The ozonic notes kind of gives off some of that airy blue type of smell too. And then I guess some things that maybe they don't list off or I didn't mention is just kind of like that ginger, apple mixture smell along with the lavender and everything that the original L'Homme has. L'Homme, the original, doesn't actually list off an apple note, but for whatever reason, when you smell it, it kind of has the perception of apple, at least for me anyway. It always has. It actually shocks me that it doesn't have apple listed off because it just, I don't know, it smells like it to me, but this is what you get. You get that OG classic gentleman smell mixed with a little bit of a modern day blue fragrance vibe, and it works great. Really, really like the smell of this one, and it also is such a safe blind buy because if you like blue fragrances, you're pretty much guaranteed to like this. Remember, they're the mixture of both, and that original L'Homme is already an easy blind buy. It's not overly mature or old smelling, but the fact that they kind of modernize it even more here with this one, it just makes it super, super easy. Next up, we have Coach Green. So this one really impressed me. It smells a lot more unique than I was expecting it to. Kiwi, bergamot, rosemary, and some cedar wood in here. So as you can imagine, or at least you would kind of hope, it's a green-based scent. So it's green, it's aromatic. The kiwi note gives it that green smell, but also a little bit of a fruity accord as well, which, to be honest, kiwi isn't used a whole lot, which I kind of think that maybe it should be used more because it really smells unique. So that's kind of what you got going on there. A little bit of a aromatic accord from rosemary, a nice green, strong, masculine smelling oak moss accord too, which love the smell of oak moss. It gives it that kind of, again, masculine, powerful, woody smell, which this one has, and which also kind of ties into the green theme that's going on here. It's another one that, again, doesn't really necessarily smell the most unique ever. Like it does smell different than a lot of other releases, but at the same time, it's still kind of somewhat of a common type of smell here, all right? But at the same time, not to the point where it's boring, but also not to the point where it's going to be like a challenging one to pull off if they go too far in the unique direction. They really hit a nice balance straight down the middle here, maintaining that versatility and that mass appeal as well. Price point on this, I think you're looking at, I don't know, $40 to $50 these days on discounters, which is a really good price for what you get. Let's go for a cheapie up next. Usually going to be around, I don't know, $20 to $25 for Tommy Bahama Saint kits. Have a cool little design on the back right there, and then obviously on the front. And these bottles have like a soft texture to them. It's weird, but kind of cool. This one has starfruit, orange, watery notes. Kind of smells a little bit like Versace Man Eau Fresh somewhat. Basically just has this tropical, bright, citrusy smell, and pretty much every Tommy Bahama smells like a summer vacation, or at least it does to me. This and St. Bart's are two of probably the most popular ones, and they both smell like, you know, a tropical getaway, really, and that's what I love about them. So something like this is going to be better suited for summertime. You know, it's a little bit too cold out where I am to be wearing this right now and get any sort of good results out of it. It doesn't perform that good. It's an eau de cologne, right? So that's one of the downsides to this one. But if you're just going somewhere for a couple of hours, or even better yet, you're on vacation and you're going down to the pool or the beach where you're going to be getting wet and likely washing the scent off anyway, but you just want something to wear down there to have for a little while and not be wasting an expensive scent washing it away in the ocean, you know, something like this would work. And I've always said before with St. Bart's, use this stuff to spray your beach towels with. You know, you can make your area smell like a resort with stuff like this. You know, they're cheap, and you could do that. It just kind of allows you to capture those scent memories, and you can hold on to them. So really good stuff at a great price, super safe blind buy. Paco Rabanne Pure XS is one I absolutely love. You're going to be looking at around $40 to $50 for this one here. That's 3.3 ounce as well, full presentation. A really reasonable price and one of the more affordable Paco Rabanne scents. Has vanilla, liquor, sugar, and myrrh. Just a few of the notes. It smells great. It's bright, but at the same time sweet, at the same time a little bit gourmand as well. It's interesting. Has a sugary sweetness, which just gives it that gourmand smell. Has a slight bit of a freshness from a little bit of a woody kind of fur accord in here as well. And I've always found this one to be interesting because when you look at the note breakdown, it looks like it's going to be sweet from start to finish and not letting up. But again, there is some balance here. It does have kind of a fresh, bright accord, especially off the opening. So it's really not as sweet and potentially, you know, unwearable as you might expect. Not unwearable, maybe that's the wrong term, but there's more versatility out of this one than you might expect. You could wear this one obviously in wintertime and fall, but you could even wear it through a lot of spring because of that bright freshness and how spring can be in terms of hot and cold, and or I guess I should say warm and cold, maybe hot where you live, but it'll work. You know, you could even wear this one in summer evenings if you want a nice summer date night scent, you know, because it's not as sweet as it looks on paper. If you like a sweet scent with versatility and compliment factor, if that's really what you're into and that's what you're looking for your collection, then this is 1000% blind buy safe, especially at this price point. Last up for this video, we have Gentleman Eau de Toilette Intense by Givenchy. This one has cypress, basil, and cedar wood, so going to be more of the fresher, aromatic, woody variety here compared to things like the EDP and Reserve Privé and Society Extreme, Society Ombre. All of those are sweeter and heavier. This one goes in the opposite direction. It's fresher, it's woodier, it's more aromatic. It's just, this is going to be more of your day-to-day school scent, work scent, office scent, whatever you want to call it. Just versatility is kind of the name of the game with this one. And if you wanted to compare it to something, or at least what I would say it's in a similar category to, it would be Dior Homme 2020. Now, I'm not saying that they smell the same in terms of obviously scent profile, but I'm more so putting it into a category of just a fresh, woody, ultra versatile scent. Dior Homme 2020 is that, and this is kind of in that category, in that ballpark as well. Just something that you can pretty much spray on and go, and you're set. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. Some fragrances that are super safe blind buys. You really can't go wrong with any of these. I will drop links down below. That's gonna do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.